What's up, guys? I am back. I know it's been a while since I've been on the YouTube channel, especially with free stuff, but back again. No promise of future videos, just as I have time, gonna pump out some content, whether it's MMA, soccer, kind of whatever I feel like, in and out. Tips, slate breakdowns. If I have thoughts, I'll jump on. A little less formal than I've tried to be in the past. Just life gets in the way, and but I do enjoy this stuff. So hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Like that I'm back, and you have any comments, hit me up as you guys come in here. I know there's a couple people already in, but it's been a while. So those who are new to the channel, my videos, welcome. I go by the Daily Fantasy Sniper. I'm a coach over at DFS Army. Link in the description. Follow me on Twitter, all that good stuff. But enough of the intro. For this video, I'm going to talk about the cash game build for the upcoming MMA slate. It is UFC on ABC 1. The main event is Max Holloway taking on Calvin Kattar. First card of the year. We've had a few weeks off. The big thing to get to really before the breakdown is the scoring criteria on DraftKings has changed. There's no more advances. They've added control time, which is I think 0.02 points per second, something like that. It's pretty small. And they added a bonus for first round finish under 60 seconds. All that is good. Overall, I'm not changing the way I approach cash games a ton. I still want to stack main events where applicable. I still want to look for safety and odds value. It takes a little bit away from the grapplers and a little bit more upside to those knockout finishers, even though sometimes they're not big cash game plays. So in terms of scoring, I'm going to wait to see how it shakes out. I think overall, though, I kind of think it's just different, but shouldn't have a huge impact on who we're targeting, especially in cash games. So cash games for this slate, very easy. These type of videos, I'm going to give you guys a straightforward approach. I think there is a couple different ways to go on the slate, and that's really it. So let me pull up my screen here. You can kind of build along with me. Here we go. So step one, in all of your cash games, period, end of story, you click Max Holloway, you click Calvin Kattar. That is a main event that should have tons of volume, tons of striking. We have 5 rounds of action. Max Holloway brings the pace. There is potential for Calvin Kattar to get a finish, but regardless, the move for me in cash games, stack it up. Period. End of story. I am stacking this in cash games. Okay, so where do you go from there? We've got 2 of our 6 spots filled. I'm going to sort here. Actually, I'll keep it by fight. What's interesting is we have odds value on, I believe it is, top of my head, it is Imavov. Imavov is about plus 130 now. Plus 130 for a fighter at 7,400 is great value. I'm probably going to start there. And then I have 8,800 to fill in the favorites that I like. I sort by salary. Talk about this top range here, 9,000 and above. Joaquin Buckley, big hype train, but he's knockout or bust. He doesn't have a lot of grappling, not a big volume guy. Like, he needs to hurt you and get a finish, and D. Chirico is tough. Red Flags in Santiago Ponzinibbio hasn't fought in 2 years. Also has the fight inside the distance is about the same as the Buckley fight. Ponzinibbio has more volume. Ramazan Ameev, even though all these guys are the minus 250 to minus 275 range, I think Ameev is super safe. He hasn't shown a lot of DK scoring potential. If you look at his log here, 82 points, lost to Tony Martin, and he's got 71 points, 73 points. He gets takedowns, but not a lot of advances. What's interesting is he does have a lot of control time. He controls, he puts up a lot of control points. So I believe before the new scoring system, these scores were actually even a little bit lower. So in terms of cash games, I think Ameev is safe, but not a lot of upside. Whereas a guy like Austin Lingo, he lost his last fight, but Yusuf Zalal is way better than his opponent, Jacob Kilburn. Lingo also has the upside to the extra bonus first round finish inside of 60 seconds. Like Lingo hits hard, he could finish Jacob Kilborn quick. So up in this 9K range, who do you want to roster? Honestly, outside of Sarah Morris, you could go anywhere, and I really can't crush you for it. In terms of like you can plug in, if you would plug in the two biggest favorites, Buckley and Ponzinibbio, then you have to go one more dog. You can play, Punahele Soriano, Justin Tafa, Matt Brown, not guys I love in cash. I guess Matt Brown is cash viable. You could go here, and that's not a terrible lineup. The issue is in cash games, I want 4 wins. So you're getting one in the stack. These two big favorites you're pretty sure about. And, Imavov is our live dog with odds value. So I'm going to leave Imavov here. If I don't go with these top guys, if I come over and I look, maybe I want to pay a little bit further down. I don't want to pay all the way up to Buckley. I take Amiv and I take Austin Lingo with a little bit of extra upside. Too bad we have all these canceled fights, because now you're still looking at another underdog. If you want to play 2 people in this 9K range, you have to have a 3 underdog lineup, one of them being part of the stack. So maybe that's not the play. This is the same process I go through when I am building. Do I want to play Wu Yanan? Not really. In a striking base fight, 8,400, very low inside the distance prop fight. Todorovic, this fantasy points per fight is pretty deceiving. Soriano, I think he's going to have the early advantage and can grapple. Felipe is a heavyweight fight. All right. Phil Hawes, I think this is more of a GP. We're already talking Imavov being our odds value play, so you can't play Phil Hawes here. So really, what the move comes down to in cash games, a lot of times I like having somebody in this range that's all canceled out. That's what's different about this card. I can't play Omari Akhmedov or Tom Breeze or Mike Grundy. Mike Grundy probably would have been a great cash game play. But fights aren't on the card. So really what I think you're doing in this type of construction is then you are taking two of the 9,000 and above price fighters, not named Sarah Morris. Could be any of them, quite honestly, whoever you like more. And then you need to pick Jocelyn Edwards, or for me, I'm not playing Soriano, I'm not playing Tafa. I think then it's Edwards or Matt Brown is who I would finish out my my cash game lineup with. Another option though, so all those type of lineups are perfectly fine. I'm not here to give away lineups. By the way, I want to talk you through my thought process. So I still want to stack. Stack is the number one thing here. If Imavov, okay, odds value is not great. Maybe I need to pay further down. It's just that lineup construction. I just don't like it. I want a 4th win. If you go all the way down to any one of the underdogs, like you can say, get any one of these 3 guys, I think there's reasons to play all of them. And you can play Vanessa Mello if you really want to. I think she's terrible, and I have a hard time doing that. But let's say you want to go with Zawada because Amiv doesn't finish anybody. Now you have 8,900 per. You know what? Better example here. Let's just full punt all the way down. You could do that, but to illustrate my point, say I can't play Buckley at that price. Let me just punt Alessio Di Chirico instead. Now you have 9,000 per fighter. Now that I've built this out, even with that, you're still looking somewhere in this Felipe Todorovic Yanan range. If you wanted to go with Todorovic, if you want to play that mid-range guy, I would play Todorovic over Felipe or Yanan and Hawes, and probably Condit, although I'm not really thrilled about playing Condit in cash games. So you lock in Todorovic, and then you can come get 2 other 9K fighters. So let's say Ponzinibbio and Amiv. So in this lineup, just counting wins. You want 4 wins. I think Amiv wins. I think Ponzinibbio wins. I have my stack, and I have my fight that I'm kind of just picking straight out, my Todorovic. If I get 4 wins in cash games and I still lose, shit night. Sorry. It just happens. But I'm still okay with my construction. So again, that's one way to go too. You just full punt, you pick a mid-range fighter and pay up. Or because we don't, this mid-range is out. So kind of just to recap here, this is, we'll call it scenario 1, even though I did it second. This is scenario 1. Or 2, if you don't want a full-on punt, then you're left with any 2 9K fighters. Then it doesn't matter who they are. Amiv, Ponzinibbio, Lingo, Buckley. Plug in 2 of them and then come down here and grab yourself. Then I would, in this construction, I would put in Imavov, who is your odds value play. And then you're taking either Jocelyn Edwards or Justin Tafa or Matt Brown, whoever you feel good about in this range. I probably would avoid Tafa personally, but I think Brown, Soriano, Edwards, all fine. My favorite of this bunch, by the way, would be Jocelyn Edwards. This is a lineup I would give some cash game consideration to as well as just simple, what I mean in terms of any 9K fighter. You could play this just as easily as you could plug in Joaquin Buckley and Austin Lingo or any of those guys in there. Take out Austin Lingo. You don't like Lingo? Go ahead and play Amiv. All those are perfectly viable constructions where we are just splitting hairs. So that's kind of the idea I wanted to get across in this video. Thumbs up if you can. Subscribe to the channel. Drop me a comment, most importantly. Let me know if you like these type of videos, good content, what I could have done different, etc. More than happy to listen to that kind of stuff. Take any criticism. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Good luck in your contests. See you next time.